able to achieve the kind of strong labor market that we want for a sustained period that benefits all. So I don't see a case for moving to a single mandate, but that's really a question for Congress, and we will of course implement whatever mandate Congress gives us. To your point about maximum employment, it's true that, and we do say that and have for some time, that non-monetary factors are really what drives the level of maximum employment, which clearly changes through the business cycle and over time. But we can and do assess that, and we do it transparency. And Congress has said that should be a goal, a co-equal goal with price stability. So that's what we're implementing. And again, I don't think there's a strong case for changing that. I don't think it hampers us in our pursuit, and I think we can achieve both goals in the medium term.
You stole my follow-up because you started out saying Congress sets the mandate, and so my follow-up was going to be, well, should the mandate, should they consider changing the mandate? And I think you've answered that. But I guess a natural follow-up might be then that if the dual mandate weren't enough, there's been talk of adding more elements to the Fed's objectives, including like racial equity that seem far from the Fed's ability to address. In addition, the Fed's remit has expanded from the banking system to the broader financial system, and its regulatory responsibilities were widely expanded in the wake of the financial crisis. How does continuing expanding the Fed's mandates not undermine focus on that fundamental responsibility of monetary stability, beyond things such as the employment element of the mandate?
So I think our current mandate is appropriate, and I would not want to see it narrowed or broadened, for that matter. We've got narrow and we've got well-defined goals that we're supposed to pursue. And what we've gotten with that is a precious grant of independence that lets us pursue those goals without direct political control. For monetary policy, that's maximum employment and price stability. And I think that dual mandate has served the public well. I really don't think it would not be a good idea to broaden it to goals that might be inconsistent with those two mandates, and that would be very difficult for us to achieve with our tools. More broadly than that, though, I think it's really important that we stick to our assigned tasks and resist the temptation to take on issues that are the province of elected representatives or of Congress. And if we do that, if we do stray from our core mandates, that will eventually undermine the case for our remaining independent. And I think, Fed independence is an institutional arrangement that has served the public well. And I think that's pretty well documented and accepted.
I mentioned a couple of times, our concern about a fully discretionary system. And one of the biggest of those concerns is that in the face of, large economic dislocations, we've been running, what really amount to unprecedented experiments. I would cite the, quadrupling of the Fed's balance sheet in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, and then, doubling it again during the pandemic. To your credit, it was right before the pandemic that you were beginning to move towards reducing the balance sheet. Could you shed some light for us on where you hope to take the balance sheet over time, and what's the way that you really try to get there? Do you see the Fed ever moving back to a scarce reserve framework like it had before the 2008 crisis?
Sure. So in the last cycle, after we ended our asset purchases, we froze the size of the balance sheet in 2014 and then allowed it to shrink passively relative to the size of the economy for about 3 years. So as the economy grew, the balance sheet didn't grow. Then in 2017, we began to allow maturing assets to run off, and that process went on until 2019. By the end of that period, we had a balance sheet that was significantly smaller relative to the size of the economy and smaller than it was overall. So then we resumed asset purchases, as you know, 2020. And once again, now we are embarked on shrinking the balance sheet. And the test will be back to levels that satisfy the public's demand for our liabilities. That's currency and reserves and things like that, but also with reserves maintained at levels that are consistent with our ample reserves regime. So the balance sheet is substantially larger now, obviously, and consequently, the runoff process is designed to be substantially faster than in the last cycle, to the tune of.
Good morning, guys. Thank you guys for joining up today. Figured I'd interrupt Powell for a second here, but Yeah, just for right now, just gonna go ahead and watch Powell here on the screen. Maybe keep up with Spy a little bit. Spy is falling back down here today. I will say I have personal supports on Spy at 393 and 394. So I will be watching for these two levels to possibly hold up today on the Spy. I will say, even though Spy is red right now, I am kind of watching for it to maybe hit something like a good support and maybe bounce back up. So that's my outlook on the Spy today. That's what I'm trying to do. If I can see something like that maybe play out well, I will go ahead and look for something like that. But appreciate everybody joining up today. George, Jamie, Sean, Xbox, Keisha. I appreciate you guys. We're probably not going to get as many people as usual because everybody's probably watching Powell. But nonetheless, though, it's going to be a pretty good morning. I think Spy is going to have a lot of crazy price action. So let's see what we can, I guess, make from that. Like I said, definitely watching this 394 support. After that, 393. Then I have one at 391 and 390. So lots of levels to look at today. If the Spy keeps falling down, we're almost down to 394 even right now. But I will go ahead and get Powell back up here.
All right, I thought it might be time to shift gears a little bit away from inflation and monetary policy. I remember in the first year I joined Cato, I read an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal advocating for the Fed to implement a digital currency. And I was kind of horrified at the privacy implications of this prospect and said so in a letter to the editor at that time. Since then, the Fed has formally stepped into the digital currency ring, and digital currency has obviously been a very recurring theme in these conferences, but the Fed has stepped into this arena with a discussion paper on a central bank digital currency and several speeches from Fed governors. Our team has reviewed the more than 2,000 comments that the Fed's central bank digital currency discussion paper received, and we find that about 2/3 of them are concerned or outright opposed to the idea. Commenters raised concerns of financial privacy, financial oppression, and disintermediating the bank system, some of the same concerns that led me to write that letter to the editor 7 years ago. How can these serious concerns about privacy and freedom be reconciled with a digital currency?
Let me start by saying that we haven't made any decisions at all about whether to issue a CBDC, and we continue to evaluate the pros and cons and look at the technical questions and the policy questions, and we expect that evaluation process is going to take some time, appropriately so. Secondly, I'll say that we do not intend to proceed with issuance of a CBDC without clear support from both the executive branch and from Congress, ideally in the form of a specific authorizing law. So we did it was very gratifying, 2,000 and some comments. And, I won't tell you that I've read those, but I've read all of them, but I've read some of them and I've read the summaries. And, it's a lot of very thoughtful concerns, including the ones that you raised. And there are things that we're considering very seriously. So we in our own paper, we suggested that a CBDC in our jurisdiction should be privacy protected, intermediated, widely transferable, and identity verified. So on privacy protection, let's start with that. Very, very important. And we all see what's happening with the digital RMB. And the issues with privacy. We would not want a world in which the government sees in real time every money transfer that anyone makes with a CBDC. That would not be something that would be at all attractive in the American context. So privacy protection is going to be extremely important, and we're attentive to striking a balance, of course, between law enforcement and privacy protection. But that can be managed in the same way that it's currently managed in the banking system, or in some similar way. In terms of another issue, really is disintermediation, and that really is a question of, if, say, you had an interest-bearing CBDC, it could be attractive. It could compete with deposits, could draw deposits out of the banking system. That could limit credit availability. That's another issue to be managed. I think one of the things that actually that Cato mentioned in your was also the run risk issue, and that is the question of, are you creating an asset that would be very attractive in a panic or severe stress situation, and fostering runs. So look, it's going to be, as I mentioned, it's going to be. We think our role is this: we want to carefully and thoroughly analyze the public policy and technological challenges, public policy trade-offs and technological challenges. That's what we're doing. The idea is that this will lead all of us to a better understanding of those trade-offs and prepare the way for hopefully a well-informed decision on whether and when to issue a dollar central bank digital currency. That's what we think our role is. And we think that the Fed is the right institution to do that. We can proceed without, we're a nonpartisan institution, non-political institution that we can do these things, and I hope present conclusions and analysis that will support an intelligent decision when it's time to make that.
Well, this is something we'll definitely be having.
Good morning, guys. This is awesome. He's kind of talking about the digital dollar right now and everything like that. So sounds pretty interesting right now. They're talking about implementing it and all the challenges and stuff like that could come into that right now. But wow, sounds pretty interesting. We might get like a almost like a cryptocurrency version of the dollar. I know that's not that probably came out a little wrong. It's not going to be like a crypto, but nonetheless though, it's they're talking about a digital dollar, so I don't know how they're going to get that done, but nonetheless, I mean, seems like it's working out right now. They're trying to work out the kinks and stuff like that. We'll have to see what they can get done with it, but sounds like they're going to be presenting some stuff to Congress and stuff like that here in the future. So definitely interesting.
Monetary policy to see more people concerned about our discretionary fiat system. And also we want to see private market innovation and experimentation in developing alternatives. And crypto is just such a great example of this. There's a long history of government and regulation thwarting such innovation and experimentation, which we find really disappointing. So I wonder if you could respond to these kinds of concerns, namely that regulators might ultimately strangle crypto to the extent that it really does develop into a viable alternative system.
So I'll talk about it in two pieces. One is unbacked cryptocurrencies as such, and those have not and don't appear to offer, have not offered and don't appear to offer much in the way of public interest in using them as payments. Let's say it's not a great store of value. What it is a speculative asset. It's not backed by anything.
There could be an argument that that's still during the development phase, and that it's something that we could see emerge. But
yes,
be that as it may.
And I also have close in family members who offer that perspective vigorously. So, as you suggest, but stablecoins is a different thing, and the question is, are there forms of private money like stablecoins which can play a role in our financial system, which would, and the answer is, of course, that we don't want to stand in the way of appropriate innovation, particularly including, digital innovation. But we think that something like that, which is, purporting to be money, would need to be appropriately regulated. And I hear that wide agreement on that, by the way, from a lot of the stablecoin companies now are seeing that as part of getting to a place where they are a legitimate part of the financial system. So I think you need regulation. If people are going to think something is money, then it needs to actually have the qualities of money. And if it doesn't, then you don't want. I don't think you want to take money and make it into just another consumer product where sometimes it fails and sometimes it's good. You want it to be guaranteed to be good. If the public's going to look at it like it was a dollar, you want to have clarity, transparency. You want to have full reserves of very liquid, high quality assets, and things like that. That's all. So I think that we need legislation on this. Just it's typical of technological innovations.
I will say, guys, I really like what Powell's saying there. I think it sounds really good. Everything he's talking about with the digital dollar and everything is awesome. I agree with him, actually. I know a lot of people might disagree with me, especially you guys in the chat. But personally, I think crypto needs to be regulated. I think that there's so many issues with crypto because of all the stupid coins that there are. And I'm just gonna say it how it is. I'm just gonna be honest and give you guys my thoughts on those. I think they're stupid. I just do. I don't like them. I don't like crypto. I feel like across the board, the whole thing is just it's like a wazi, it's a woozy, you know, it's like the guy from the Wolf of Wall Street talking about it. But hey, you know, that's just my opinion. I'd rather stick to things that are proven, like the dollar, like other currencies, kind of like what Powell said, and those are regulated. There's a lot of things backing the dollar, for example, you know, and he's talking about getting that done for the digital dollar, and you know, kind of like what he said. Look at some of these stable coins now that started crashing and stuff like that. Like, sounds like a very rough market over there in the crypto world, but. Yeah, I don't know. You can make a lot on crypto. You know, it's always. I'm not saying not to invest in it or anything like that. If you know what you're talking about and you know you're comfortable holding it, you know, more power to you. I will say, try to get the smarter ones. You know, try not to get the hype. The hype. Don't get caught up in the hype train. You know, like the Dogecoin hype, or you know, don't get caught up in that stuff. That I think that's where you get. People are starting to get a little bit screwed up with it, but it's all right though. You know, hopefully it starts to go back up in the future a little bit more. I know Bitcoin has been insane. Let's look at Bitcoin. It's been falling down, but it's been kind of recovering up, trying to get back up above 20K. Look at Bitcoin on that daily chart, all the way down around lows. I know Bitcoin goes through these cycles where it'll fly up, you know, 1,000%, and then it'll fall down for a couple years and then start to fly up again. Some people are saying we're in that downwards couple years of consolidation here now, and I would agree with that. So I'm personally going to be waiting a long time to get in on these. Yeah, it's going to be a long time before I probably look back into Bitcoin a little bit. I will say, though, if you see it start to even out for a little while, kind of like we did back in 2019 and 2020, might be a good time to pick some up, but make sure you're getting it at the right price. Remember, 68,000 down to 19,000 isn't that much when the last time it fell from 20K down to 3K. Lost a lot of its valuation that last time. It lost a lot. Cyber says they actually agree with me. Hey, there we go. Xbox says, don't worry that someone may attempt to cap the amount of this digital dollar any person could have. Well, you know, Xbox, I don't think that they would cap that. You know, like if you think about it, you know, like look at the regular dollars out there. I guess theoretically, you know, there's a cap, I guess, on your, you know, like there's no caps on normal dollars. Like what would they do? Just magically just say, hey, you're not allowed to buy it anymore. I don't know. Xbox says the more complications create less understanding, leads to more power for them. See, that's kind of where I actually disagree. I don't know. Everybody always thinks that crypto is so awesome because they're like, oh, it's unregulated. You know, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. I'm like, you know what? I've seen a few people win on it. Most people I've ever seen have just lost and lost and lost, and they've never won. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I know some people do very well with crypto, and you know, I hope it works. And the issue is that Xbox, there's too many. You know, you can't have all these different things like Bitcoin, crypto, Litecoin, Cumcoin, Shitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin. You know, like Ethereum. What else is there? Hell, I missed. There's 1,000 of them. You know, Luna Coin. I mean, Terra Classic. I mean, there's so much that it's to the point of where it's getting stupid. You know, it just is. I hate to say it, but it is. I hope it doesn't, but hey, the Tangi said, hey, Tom, did you see Elon and Tesla are getting sued over Dogecoin? Possible racketeering charges. You know, I was actually just talking about this a couple days ago with somebody, Tangi, and that's awesome that you brought that up with Elon and Doge. I think that's amazing because I also agree that, yes, they should be allowed to get sued for things like that, considering Elon straight up pumped the coin and then unloaded it. You know, I mean, it's at some point, you know, the manipulation just is too it's too out there. You know, it's too much in your face. Like you can just see it, and that's kind of like what, you know, Elon's been doing. So it's very tough. Very tough out there with Elon and all that stuff. I know he's been hit pretty hard for all of his pumping and dumping that he's been doing over the past year and a half. Xbox says, I believe more regulations with crypto too, because it's kind of a wild west, if you will. Definitely needs stability and value outside of simply whatever someone is willing to pay for it. Yeah, that's a smart statement, Xbox. I think that's a really smart way to look at it right there. And I don't, I'm somebody who I don't like government regulations and stuff like that, but I do think that it's good to have some regulation on things, because people who are like losing their life savings on these things, like I hate to see that happen. And it's been happening so much with these cryptos. I've actually been seeing a lot of articles suggesting soon that there's going to be a mass quitting of crypto. I've been reading a lot of articles saying that a lot of the people who have been in crypto are about to give up on it. And I know that they're just articles and it's just analysts and stuff like that, but still, I would bet they're probably right. I bet a lot of people are probably going to give up on it soon, and I hope that's not the case. Obviously, Bitcoin will still, probably be okay, but a lot of these people are probably going to start giving up on a lot of these smaller coins that, don't really have as much backing as Bitcoin, for example. Elliot says trading crypto is like gambling with coupons. Yeah, it kind of is. I will say you can still get some pretty good charting going on crypto and stuff, which is good. Tangi says manipulation erodes confidence in any adjacent assets. Yeah, true that. Manipulation is always rough. Yeah, I agree, Xbox. Sometimes regulations are awesome, but they cross that line sometimes between what's right and what's wrong. And yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Purdy says, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tom. Hey, good morning, Purdy. Thanks for joining up. If you guys have any stocks you're looking at today, let me know and we can check them out. Looking at my watch list, though, today we had a few runners like Rivian was having a nice pop up this morning on some great news with Mercedes-Benz. They're going to be partnering with them to make an electric SUV or an electric van. That's awesome. Kind of like how Mercedes has Sprinter vans, like an electric Sprinter van, stuff like that. So sounds really cool for Rivian, actually. And Rivian's been making some good moves lately, guys. I will say keep it on your radar. I think Rivian, Lucid, and a couple other companies are a little bit underrated. I know that they've been rough the past couple years, but I will say, just wait for some good news to start to come in. Because as we know, sometimes these growth stocks, they can move in crazy ways that you would never expect, especially to the upside. But yeah, Rivian had that great news with Mercedes today, so they're running up. Snapchat's moving up today in a pretty big recovery. Sorry, guys, the COVID is still rough. Sorry about that. Had to just quit talking there for a second, but oh yeah, Snapchat is looking pretty good though. Having a pretty big breakout today. Having a good move up. I like it. Looking solid. We have Snapchat. We have Run. Sunrun. Moving up again with the clean energy plays. I know the clean energy is still doing well today. FSLR was up. Enphase was up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. How about Fubo? Fubo, Vicky, it's been a while since Fubo's been on here. There we go. 3.5%. AMD's up in the green today. What's happening, guys? We'll take it. How's Spy? I bet Spy's coming back up. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I will say, guys, we got pretty close to that 394 support. Pretty close to it. Asana's moving today, too. Can't forget about that one. With those big earnings yesterday, Moskovitz picked up like $300 million more of the company, just adding to his crazy position that he already has. His position was already like $1 billion. Now he's adding even more. I'm curious how much of that company that guy owns. His name's Dustin Moskovitz. Dustin Moskovitz. Yeah, Keisha says Asana. Let's see. Yeah, ASAN. That thing has been on fire today. Purdy says, I'm diamond handing my TQQQ $25 put, 916 TQQQ. Let's see. Ooh. You got that yesterday morning during the stream, didn't you, Purdy? TQQQ is really roaring back. I will say, Purdy, I personally am kind of leaning on the side of that the SPY might start going back up here. We ran right down into a big area of support, 390, which I was targeting for a while. Now we're starting to pop back up a little bit. I could see a little bit of recovery, at least maybe up to like 400 or a little bit higher here. I could see that happening. But Purdy, just be careful with TQQQ. It's one that is scarier to hold. You know, it has crazy moves. Crazy moves, but hopefully you do well on it. Your expiration's 9/16. You have about 8 days on that one. It could definitely still go down for you. Like I said, I personally don't really see it that way, but we could still reject well off 400 again. Cornish says AMD. Yeah, that thing's on fire today, Cornish. Back up above $80 a share. Awesome. I like it. Elliot says thoughts on Boeing calls. Let's see. Boeing. That's a nice one. Let's look at it. Wow, I actually like that. I like that setup quite a bit, actually, Elias. Yeah, I like this. And we're seeing all these other airlines and cruise lines move up today, too. Like, look at AAL, CCL, DAL, LUV. They're all running up, and Boeing is one that's getting really, really close. I like it. I like that setup quite a bit, Elias. I think that could be have a pretty good pop to the upside here. Nice. Nice, I like that. Especially if you can break above like 157 here, that'd be pretty big. Xbox says, you planning on watching the Bills/Rams game? Are they on today? Let's see. You know, they were on. Is it on today? They're not even showing me football. There it is. Yeah, it is tonight. Okay. Nice. 7:20 p.m. Bills versus Rams. That's going to be a really good game. I really hope the Bills can pull it out, but yeah, it is tonight, Xbox. I didn't know that, though. I did not know that. You're right. That is going to be a pretty big game, though. And it's a good game, too, I feel like. I like this game tonight. It'll be nice and entertaining. Personally, though, Xbox, I'm going to be watching those St. Louis Cardinals. That's all I'm into right now is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. That's all I watch. If I'm not watching the Cardinals, I'm probably watching the Dodgers or San Diego or the Mets or something. Always watching some type of baseball, though. Every day. Every day. I do a lot of fantasy baseball, too. But yeah, that's going to be a pretty big game tonight. I hope it goes well. Josh Allen. Josh Allen. I'm curious to see how Patty Mahomes does this year, guys. Patrick Mahomes. I'm always curious because he seemed really good, obviously, and he's great. I'm just kind of curious on how he's gonna perform here. Palantir's having a great move though today, guys. Great move. Up to 745. Not looking bad at all. Definitely not looking bad here on Palantir. Coming back up today in a pretty big way. Let's see, DraftKings. DraftKings, there we go. Come on, guys, let's go. Xbox says, just baseball. What? No, you gotta watch football. First game this year is against my Cardinals. That's funny. You wouldn't like it if I told you my football team. The only thing I care about in football is Tom Brady. That's all I care about. That's all I watch. Purdy says, my Vikings take on the Packers this week. Massive week 1 game to start off the season. Hell yeah, Purdy. I hope you guys destroy the Packers. I hope Aaron Rodgers and his Awahuska and all of his 50 million. I hope he's happy he lost Devontae Adams, Purdy. We'll see how this guy can do now. He's playing with all no names. I'm curious. I don't think he's gonna do as well this year as people are hoping for. What? Aaron Rodgers is nuts though. What, back-to-back MVPs? Is it? I mean, dang, the guy's been insane over the past few years. Yeah, neighbor says go Bucks. There we go. That's right. Go Bucks. I have a Bucks jersey. I like him so much, neighbor. Nice. Yeah, JT says trying to get into meta at 158.40, but my internet got in at 159 though. Is this for shares, JT? Is that for shares? Sounds pretty good. I will say I am getting very tempted to buy some meta as well. Keisha says RUN, all capitals. Oh my gosh, let's see it. Wow, look at that daily on run. Let's go. Yeah, Keisha, that thing is running up. Awesome call there. Nice. Yeah, big breakout on the 1 minute. Come on, let's go. Let's get some nice movement with run. I hope it's not a fake out there. Hey, neighbor says they've been a Bucks fan their whole life. Nice. That's cool. That's great. That's great. Jacob got both calls and shares on meta. Up 17%. Nice. Nice play. Oh, meta got rejected right at resistance. Like perfectly off of it. Huh. Interesting there. Xbox says, my dad's been a Packers fan his whole life. Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. That's awesome. The Packers. I'm really curious how Aaron Rodgers does this year. I will say I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I am not. I don't know why. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or a popular opinion, but but I'm not a huge fan of Mr. Rodgers. Hey, Tandy says, I'm a Packers fan too. Oh, man. I shouldn't have said that about Rodgers. I'm going to get mobbed. Oh, that's funny. J Deep says Lyft though, Lyft. Let's check it out. Good old Lyft. Whoa, what's up with Lyft here? That's a nice move. 7.4%, having the best move it's had like ever since the beginning of the month. That's pretty cool. Good stock, J Deep. Thanks for pointing that one out for us. What's on the watch list now? Asana's still up. Back around that high of day. Rivian, Snap, Run, Meta, mRNA. mRNA might not be a bad one with all the upgrades and stuff going on. AMD. Let's go on CNBC, see what we have going on here today. See what we got. Is Powell still going? Let's see. No, he ended. Okay. I thought Powell was done. CNBC still said he was live, though. Look at that. It says he's live. That's pretty awesome, though, Keisha. Keisha rolled the dice on Asana earlier. Hopefully it keeps running back up for you, Keisha. Running back, running back. Purdy says, I like Favre in 2009. He was pretty good then. Xbox says, I think it stems from him being so good and how he knows he's so good. No one can knock him off his own pedestal. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you there, Xbox. Hell, if I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd probably feel the same way. Tom Brady is kind of like that too, I guess. Although I will say Tom Brady is pretty humble. Go check out the video Tom Brady put out yesterday on actually just go to my Facebook. Go to Tom's Facebook, Tom Moore on Facebook, and look at my recent Facebook post. It's actually a post about Brady. It's actually awesome. You know, I'll actually play it for you guys. I'll play it. Hang on. Let me go get it. It's a really good video. I think it's worth playing here. Don't worry, it's not long video or nothing, guys. Really short. Nothing to freak out about. I wish it wouldn't show my whole Facebook here, though.
This is the letter I've been telling you about. This letter. This is the letter I've been telling you about. This letter is for you. From what I hear, you're supposed to be the next Tom Brady. What I'm about to say is important. Never let them call you the next Tom Brady. When they compare you to the GOATs, tune it out. When they say you're a 6th round draft pick, store it away. Compare yourself to nobody but the kid in the mirror. The one who goes all in, all out, and has the crazy confidence to know that who you are today is just a piece of who you're going to become. This letter's for that you, the one no one will see coming. Sincerely, Tom.
About your dreams, man.
Every time people talk about Brady, you know, I hear, oh man, not him again, you know, why, and all this stuff. And man, you know, videos like that, just like, the guy's something else, you know. He really is. Everything he does to like inspire everybody and stuff, I think he's pretty big. Tangi says, I got frostbite at the Packers-Steelers playoff game in like 1996, I think it was. Still got no feeling in my little toes. Oh my gosh, Tangi. That is insane to hear. You actually got the... Wow, I know people talk about getting frostbite at those games, but man, if... Oh, I would have been running away. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to even sit there for that. Wow. Wow. Xbox says Packers and Steelers can't meet in the playoffs. Only Super Bowl for post regular season games. Well, he did say it was 1996. Oh. Oh, he did say it was a playoff game, didn't he? Yeah, he said I got frostbite at the playoff game. Tandy says, LOL, we got so drunk that day. Oh, man. I could only imagine if... Wow, I couldn't imagine not feeling my toes. That'd freak me out. That would freak me out. I'd almost consider suing him, actually. Have you ever considered suing him for that? I mean, I know it's outside, but... I don't know, you know, I feel like they should have some type of something. People shouldn't be getting frostbite at the football game. We'll just say that. That's cool, Xbox. Oh, I see what you're saying. They can't meet in the playoffs. Only Super Bowl. Well, how long have these conferences been the same, Xbox? Could they have like changed? They said Tandy says maybe it was like the last game of the year. I can't fully remember the 90s. Were you on a big bender in the 90s, Tangy? Tangy says you can't sue anyone in Wisconsin for getting frostbite. Oh, well, that's too bad. I would want to try at least. Oh, that's funny though. It's funny. It's not funny though. It's a funny story. Feel bad for your feet though. Oh, it's tough. Moderna. Let's go look at them today. Pfizer. Pfizer's starting to look like it might run here, guys. Check out Pfizer intraday. Actually, a resistance this week around 46.45. Looks like we might break it. Let's check out the daily. Daily's not looking bad either. Some green candles extending back up after that one initial big green candle last week. Kind of tempting me to play this one. It's tempting. It's not my favorite setup in the world, but looks pretty good. What about Roblox today? Roblox has had a decent move. Yeah, holding up around the highs. Banks today are okay too. Like Bank of America's running. Look at that. Making like new highs as we continue on here today. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman, Wells Fargo. Nice. Yeah, they're all moving. We'll take it. Very nice moves. My damn Kraft Heinz is down again though. That sucks. TTWO. Some of my gaming stocks are down today. Take Two, EA. EA's not bad. Take Two's down though. The EA's not looking too bad though. Wait, RA. Oh, EA. There we go. Typed in the wrong ticker. There we go. Purdy says, funny, random fact, I can't bend my middle toe on my right foot, so if I squeeze my toes together, I can flip you off of my foot. Oh my gosh. Purdy. That's pretty funny. It's no worries. The current format is 4 divisions with 4 teams per division. It has been for like 20 years or so, I think, but Steelers have always been in the AFC since the merger, and the Packers NFC. Gotcha, Xbox. That makes sense. That does make sense. I don't know my divisions in football as well. I'm pretty good with baseball though. Like I could name pretty much I think most of those divisions, but yeah, you're right, the football ones. Tangi says it's only 7:13 here in Santa Cruz, California, and it's already uncomfortably muggy. Uncomfortably muggy. Santa Cruz. Where is that? I think it's California, right? Is this in the Bay Area? It keeps showing me bikes. Santa Cruz bikes. Like, what? Why does it keep giving me the bikes? Here you go. I think this is in the Bay Area, isn't it? I can't remember. I think I remember, Tangi, I think I had something funny happen with you like 6 months ago where you said you were from No, somebody told me this. They said, it wasn't you, Tangi. Somebody told me, though. They said, I'm from Santa Clara, California. And I said, oh, wow, awesome. Is that down by San Francisco? I'm like, awesome. And they're like, I said, nice. Is that down by like San Francisco or something? And they're like, oh, no, here's what it was. Somebody got so technical with me in the chat. AMD, their headquarters. Let's look at this. AMD headquarters. Santa Clara, California. This is it. It was Santa Clara, California. And I told the chat, I said AMD's headquarters is in Santa Clara, guys. And somebody in the chat was like, no, it's not. It's in the Bay Area. And I'm like, it's in the Bay Area. I'm like, isn't Santa Clara the Bay Area? And like, isn't that in the vicinity? And they're like, well, it's the Bay Area. And I'm like, what? Like, it had me dumbfounded. I'm like, it's literally the name of the city is Santa Clara. I'm like, it's not called Bay Area. Like, like AMD's headquarters is not Bay Area. Like, it had me laughing. Elliot says Santa Cruz is near San Jose. Gotcha. Santa Clara is what I was thinking of. Yeah, AMD has a headquarters there, which is interesting. Talk about AMD though, guys, they're breaking out. I threw the stock up here, and yeah, there we go. Look at that, breaking out on the 5-minute, having a pretty good run. Not gonna lie, it's actually looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Good move with AMD. Nice, AMD. How about NVIDIA? Ah, it's trying. It's trying to get up there. Tangi says, Central Coast, just south of the Bay. Okay. Gotcha. California seems like a beautiful state, guys. Let me know if you guys are... Tangi said you're from there, right? It sounds pretty nice place, actually. Besides not being able to carry a, besides not being able to carry protection, I think the state looks pretty cool. Tangi says, I'm actually just a little south of Santa Cruz, but nobody will know what I'm talking about if I say Pajaro Valley. I feel like I've heard of that somewhere. Pajaro Valley. Probably on like some weird show I was watching or something. But, huh. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like I've heard of it, though. That's awesome, though. I really want to go to a Los Angeles Dodgers game. I think that would be awesome. Got to get out to one of those. The Dodgers. Maybe when COVID gets away, right? My COVID, that is. Still feeling pretty rough today, guys. It's been a rough morning. How's Spy? Spy's kind of trying to get back up towards that double top around 398.72. Trying to move. Hold on, this makes it look a lot better. There we go. Now it really looks like it's running now that I switch it to the 1 minute. Decent pop with the Spy. Yeah, let me know what stocks you guys are watching today. Hopefully we can find some good runners here. Like I said earlier, AMD was running. Spy's moving up. Banks are running. I mean, guys, it's looking pretty good here across the board. CCL. Boeing. Boeing, there we go. We talked about this one. Who has Boeing? Elias, is it you? Somebody in here bought Boeing, and man, thing looks good. Or they talked about buying it. Oh, Elias talked about buying Boeing. Tangi says, Tom, get some honey. It totally helped me get over COVID, especially the hacking cough. That's my main issue, Tangi, is the cough. And then like my sinuses like up in my head feel terrible. I don't know why. It makes me just want to like go to sleep though, just constant sleep. That's all my body wants to do right now. It feels like. And it's hard for me to eat. Guys, Tom, I know you guys might have heard me talking about working out over the past 6 months or so. I've been working out pretty much this whole year, guys. And it's very unfortunate. With COVID here, I've lost 10 pounds in like 3 to 5 days, guys. It has been terrible. 10 pounds. And guys, I do not weigh a lot. I went from 140 to 130. It's rough. Trust me, it feels terrible. And Tangi says, get the honey, the fresher, the better. That's actually awesome, Tangi. I actually have, there's some people by my house who grow honey. I might have to like stop by their hives, I guess. Pay them a little visit. Whoa. Yeah, I'll have to get some of that, though. Ellie says they live in Newport Beach, California. You should visit here. Yeah, I definitely will one day. Sounds awesome. Tangi says, it's nice, other than it's basically illegal to defend yourself, and the state taxes the hell out of me. Yeah, I've heard that. It's tough thing. I'll never live there, but I would definitely visit. I would definitely visit. Keisha says, what's going on with Powell? Keisha, he quit talking a while ago. Did something happen with him that I forgot? Powell, he spoke for a while though. We were watching him live, Keisha, for a little bit. He's done though now. I guess I don't know. I guess the event ended or something, but nonetheless though, he talked this morning. Just talked about the market. He obviously talked about a lot about inflation, the Fed's trying to combat it and everything like that. Yeah, he's done, unfortunately, Keisha. I wish he was still there. I was listening to him for a while. He was helping me out for a little bit because I was able to put him on and rest my rest my throat for a minute. Seren says, wow, exactly my experience, 140 to 130. Nice. Purdy, Tom, can you give me your opinion on WBA call expiration 9/16 strike 36? Nice, okay. WBA, let's see. Ooh. Why'd they start falling off like this? Oh, it's super low on WBA. Yeah, the daily, it's really low right now. You look at the 5-minute chart, kind of consolidating a little bit here. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it right now. Yeah, personally, Purdy, I don't like that play too much. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather get like Pfizer or maybe Moderna or something like that lower down here. Like if WBA starts flying up with COVID or something, I feel like some of these other stocks might be a little bit better to look into here. But nonetheless, though, I just don't like the setup too much on WBA. Like looking at it, not really the best movement down here. You look at the daily, it's just been falling off and falling off back towards those post-COVID lows. So I don't know, a very tough one for me with WBA. Personally, I don't like it, but it's just one setup, though. I'm sure there's plenty of other grade A choices out there, though, Purdy. I feel like some of these tech stocks are due to recover up a little bit, like AMD, Meta, Facebook. Well, AMD, Nvidia, Meta, Palantir, maybe. Stocks like that, I feel like, are kind of due for some pops. Tandy says, I'm trying to move out of California, but I have to stay until my company wraps up the big deal of my lifetime. Once it closes, I'll be moving back to the Midwest, maybe buy a hobby farm in Illinois. Nice, Tangy. Nice. I'm in Missouri. I'm actually in St. Louis, right next to Illinois. So if you do end up getting a nice flat piece of land out there, let me know and I'll maybe come over and visit or something. But yeah, that's cool though. I'll be honest, I'm not like a big West Coast fan, I guess we could say. I would rather go to Florida or Texas or something probably myself. But, you know, everybody's different. Seren says boil is about to boil. Boil, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. That natural gas ETF. Looks like it's trying to pop up. I can see it moving. Boil's about to boil. I hope it boils. It needs to get up there, I tell you that. We had... Ooh. That daily on boil looks bad, though. I will say the daily chart makes it look terrible, so... I don't know. Looking at boil on the daily, though, makes me scared. I wouldn't want to be buying it. It looks like it has these weird drops, though, down to around 75, and then weird moves back up, so. Xbox says, I don't like how democratic Oregon can be, but I don't want to leave it. LOL. Hey, that's cool though, Xbox. But I don't want to leave. Ah, the politics of the states. I'm sure we could go on and on about those politics forever. Ugh. I don't care about most stuff. As long as they let you carry a firearm, then I don't care. But unfortunately, some of these states don't let you. Illinois is one of them, actually. Illinois is one of them. I'm sure you can do something there, but the restrictions are tough. It's funny. Most people get shot, in Chicago, Illinois, but then Illinois won't let you defend yourself. It's like the gang capital of the Midwest. But God forbid normal people get them. All right. Tandy says, I always liked Vandalia, Illinois. Good local hunting and fishing. That's kind of near St. Louis. Purdy says, thanks for your opinion, Tom. Much appreciated. I was looking at the 1 hour and 4 hour chart and I was noticing it was really oversold and it already made a leg down. Yeah, it really did, Tangy, on good old WBA. The chart is just a little bit scary. Looking at that daily, just doing a secondary glance, I mean, it's getting really low to that all-time low. Well, not all-time low, but lows of recent years, I guess. And if we end up bouncing here around that 34 support, it might not be bad, Purdy. So eye it up. That is a big support there on WBA. So while it is on support, though, it's still not my favorite. But, I will say, I'm somebody who likes to play things objectively more than if I like it or not. So if that support holds up, it could end up being a pretty good play. Purdy's on the East Coast and Southern Maryland. Wow, nice, Purdy. We're all over the place here in the chat, aren't we? We have people on the East Coast, the West Coast, up north. Cornish is in Cornhusker territory. I mean, good old Nebraska. We got people all over here. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining up today. Seriously, I do. I thought we had some pretty interesting conversations today. Wasn't necessarily all about the stocks today, but hey, nice conversations either way. I enjoyed spending my morning with you guys, and we got to see Big Daddy P talk early on. So hey, any day Big Daddy talks, it's a pretty big event, just like we saw this morning. Keisha says she's in South Dakota. There we go. Nice. Nice. South Dakota. That's interesting. You're the first person I've ever met from South Dakota, I think, Keisha. That's cool. That I knew, anyways. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining up. Thanks, Keisha, Xbox, Purdy, Tangy Man, Surin, Elias, JT, Neighbor J, Cornish, Cyber K, George, Mike Chang. Seriously, appreciate you guys. I hope I didn't forget anybody, but have a great rest of your day. I appreciate it. I'll be in Discord, of course, if you guys need anything, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Appreciate it. Neighbor Jay says they're in Billings, Montana. Nice. Nice. Billings, Montana. Sounds like somewhere I'd go hunting on Big Buck Hunter. Used to love those games, but that's cool. Yeah, appreciate you guys, though. It's cool. We'll have to talk more about the states tomorrow, but Yeah, have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll be in Discord, of course, and don't forget to post those profits in the Profits channel. Let's go.